Hi, I'm a first-time poster here, but I have this bizarre story from when I was 11 that I could never truly figure out. I figured I'd share it with you. I think I might have either met God, a demon, or an angel at a men's department store. If it's not one of those, it's someone who diligently stalked my family for years, which is totally possible.
Anyway, so, when I was 11, I'm 24 now, my 6-year-old brother wanted to join Cub Scouts. So he joined. And he had to get a uniform from the one place that sold scout uniforms in our little southern town. Our dad takes us to this store, a large 2-story brick building which had been open since the early 1900s, and we began to browse around looking for the right uniform for a Tiger Cub Scout if you're a little old lady. When we walk by, she looked at us with this neutral expression and said, "You're my name." I'm completely floored. I had never seen this woman in my life. I turned to my dad, thinking that maybe he knew this woman. He is one of the few optometrists in town and the most popular, so everyone knows him. He was just as shocked as I was, and I can't remember what he said, but it was his typical polite country doctor shtick. This woman later said, "I know about you guys. You don't live here. You live on the outskirts of town, in a 2-story blue house, a farmhouse with a pasture. You had 2 horses, I remember. One was brown. One was black." My dad said, "Yes." She then looked up at my dad with her beady black eyes and said, "You are not other optometrist. But you two were close before he overdosed." The fact that this optometrist died was not a secret, but very few people knew why he died. My dad immediately became uncomfortable, which I had never witnessed before. The other people in the store were now getting a little spooked by this. She started to look at me. Again, wait, no. She wasn't so much staring at me but staring into me. Very intensely. "I've watched you. I used to watch over you all the time when you were a baby, and your mother was always gone. She was gone so much. This got me. My mother was primarily absent from my life. She was severely depressed, partly from genetics and partly because she never wanted to be a wife or mother. She never wanted to be around me aside from the times she wanted to take pictures of me or dress me up to relieve her depression. Mostly, she was either in my parents' bedroom or outside with her animals. When she wasn't there, she was at work. Both my parents worked relentlessly when I was a child. 6 days a week. I was always being babysat by someone, whether it be a relative or a neighbor. I swear to God this woman was never one of my babysitters. Yes, and then you grew up and would always play outside by the creek. That was totally true. But I had never seen her by the creek either. Like I said, I had never seen her before that moment in that department store. My dad finally got too unnerved by this encounter, and so he quickly paid for my brother's uniform. And we got the heck out of Dodge. As we got in his truck, he chuckled lowly and said, "Man, that old bird's nuttier than a squirrel." "Who was she?" I asked. "I couldn't tell you," he said, "but I guarantee you that your mother and I would never let her watch you while we were gone. That's for sure." So yes, this woman knew all these details about my family and me, and we have no clue who she was. It's one of the weirdest things to ever happen to me. Weirder yet, my dad asked the cashier who she was the next time he came in, and she said, "I don't know, I've never seen her before."